Since I was a teenager, I've always wanted to learn another language, so in my second year of high school, I took a Spanish class and I failed it.
Bruh.
Ever since then, I gave up on it and never thought I'd try to learn it again until I found a spicy señorita. Meet Sofia. Over the years, I've picked up on a few basic Spanish words like hola, ¿cómo estás, and muy bien, but that's pretty much it. All of the other words I've tried to learn have gone in one ear and out the other. But since I started dating this spicy señorita, I've been to some family get-togethers and I find myself being very uncomfortable because everybody's speaking Spanish and I'm just this gringo over here that doesn't understand a damn thing. This makes me very frustrated and I don't want to have to rely on her to translate everything to me. So at this point, I feel like I must learn Spanish for the survival of our relationship so I can communicate better with her and her family. If I plan to be with her and possibly go visit her hometown in Mexico one day, then I'm going to have Espanol down. And on top of that, wouldn't it be pretty dope to be able to speak and seduce my girlfriend in Spanish, be able to talk with her family in Espanol, and understand it without having to say much English, if any at all? And could I do that in 30 days? Oof, that would be good. And that's how this challenge came about. The rules are simple. Learn as much Spanish as I can in 30 days and conduct a test at the end by trying to have a conversation in only Spanish with my girlfriend and her family to see how much I can truly understand and communicate with them. With all that out of the way, let's get into this. My first task was figuring out where to start. With so many resources on this topic, I figured I'd just ask my girlfriend how I could learn Spanish and do some of my own research online. She recommended Duolingo, getting a textbook, social media content like TikTok and YouTube. So I ended up going to Amazon and getting a textbook and another thing on Amazon that we'll talk about later in the video because I didn't get into it at first, or I actually didn't get it until a little later in the challenge, so it's not very relevant right now. But I got into Duolingo. I was ready to just dive headfirst into this journey. Since I just moved in with this chiquita, there's no looking back. Alright, as you can see guys, we got the Spanish book I will be diving into over the next 30 days. It does say speak Spanish in 30 days, so we're gonna see how much actual progress I can make on this book. It says there is a download inside for both a phrase book and flashcards, so we're gonna get into that tonight and over the next 30 days. The challenge was off to a good start. I felt like I was already starting to slightly learn and understand her first language better. I felt good that I was taking steps to learn something new and grow. I was very excited for the journey ahead. In the book, it was hyping it up. It also said there are 40 million native Spanish speakers in the US and 20 million that are learning it as a second language. And worldwide, the number of Spanish speakers is higher than 470 million people. So I would say that is a lot of people, but right now I want to learn Spanish to deeply connect with one person, and that is my señorita. Then everybody else through this video. I was chewing into the book and also was doing Duolingo. If you don't know what Duolingo is, let me tell you a little bit about it. It is an interactive learning platform. It has many exercises that will help you understand different languages. It doesn't just have to be Spanish. It also has languages such as French, German, and Japanese, to name a few. Check it out if you're interested in learning a language. You can check it out in the description. This is not an ad for Duolingo, I just really like it. Then, a few days after the challenge, this happened. So, an unfortunate update. So me and Sophia were out for a walk earlier the day, and I wanted her to take a picture of me with my car because I'd just done some stuff with my car earlier in the day, got a new license plate, so I just wanted to take a picture. But she left her phone on the back of my car, and we took off. And later she came to me and said we had a problem. The phone was missing, so I was kind of like, oh, have you looked for it? And she was like, yeah, it's not in my bag, it's not in the car. So I was kind of mad. So we went, checked out the spot it was at. We couldn't find it in the initial spot, but then we started driving. I was driving slow, trying to look for the phone, and then I spotted it on the road. And I was excited at first because the case was down and I thought their phone would be there. So I went and I grabbed the case and there was nothing left. It was on the road, so we found some pieces of the phone. Looked at like the phone had completely ran over. So I'm trying to study some Spanish right now, but hopefully we can get her a new phone soon. And even though this challenge is happening, still try and persevere and learn Spanish. After this, we kind of fell off the wagon a little bit. She wasn't in the best mood, and neither was I. But despite the phone thing happening, we had to accept it for what it was and take steps to get her a new one. It was a hard loss because we just moved out together and we really didn't need this to have to get a new phone and spend money on that. What makes it even more ironic is that her 24th birthday was just 2 days away. We were planning to go out to dinner and have a good night with her family, but after this happened, she canceled plans. But luckily, I had a surprise birthday trip for the weekend planned that I had been planning for months, and nothing was going to stop me from taking us there. Before heading out though, I got the thing I was talking about earlier on Amazon, which is an audiobook to listen to on the road and learn on the road. Come with us on this adventure. After getting to our Airbnb from the sauna ice bath experience, I was ready to dive into learning more Spanish, and that's exactly what we did. At one point, I thought she was the Duolingo bird. She looked exactly like it. We did a lot of Spanish that afternoon, but eventually we had to get ready for our fecha para la cena. Vamos a cenar.
The food tastes like sex.
We had an amazing time in Red Wing. It's one of my favorite places to visit and hike in Minnesota. Despite her losing her phone, I think we had an amazing trip. I feel like we connected even deeper without her having her phone and learning Spanish together. Now we are back at our apartment and learning even more Spanish, and at this point I was starting to feel more confident in the words I was using and how to pronounce them. I'm not at the point where I can get full sentences down, but I was starting to really feel confident with single words like this one, for example. Bésame. Now that's one of our favorite words to use. As we came back from vacation, I found us mostly practicing Spanish in the night before going to bed. It was kind of hard to do it during the day with both of our schedules, because she works fairly early in the morning to the afternoon, and I usually work most afternoon evenings. So the time we have together most of the time right now is at the night. So I found us getting into a routine of eating dinner and then doing Duolingo before bed. When I practiced it in the day, it would usually be on my own, like this day. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. Just playing around with you. I wanted to give you guys an update on how the challenge is going, everything I'm learning, and how I'm gaining communication skills through Spanish. So some things I've learned, I'm learning a lot of basic words and more words for seduction and all that. Like también, lo siento, ¿cómo estás? Yo bebo agua. Where's my agua? Right here. Just learning a lot of basic stuff so I can communicate better in Spanish. I feel like I'm making a lot of progress for day 10, and I'm super excited to see what comes in the next 20 days of the challenge. I'm gonna keep you guys posted. So for seducing and stuff, like una cita, like a date, and then bésame, which means kiss me. So stuff like that I've been starting to utilize along with other things. It's weird because I'm surrounded by a lot of Spanish with Sophia's family too, so sometimes I just pick up on words and they come to me and I don't even know, like I say it right, but I don't even know what the word means. So I feel like I learn better through audio and actually engaging in Spanish rather than just reading a book. And then I had the opportunity to jump in the pool and practice some Spanish with my new amigos. Then I went on to talk with them for a little bit. They were asking questions about my camera and if I was a YouTuber, which I am. So I told them a little about it, told them that I was trying to learn Spanish. So I was glad that they reached out to me in Spanish, and I'm glad I met some new people in the community through Spanish. So for around the last half of the challenge, I was doing Duolingo, audiobook, and a physical book. I was keeping track of the days through Duolingo. On another note, my girlfriend was saying that me just putting in this effort to learn Spanish was seducing her. So I think we're accomplishing this mission. Alright guys, today is the day. We're gonna be doing some tests. We're gonna be seeing how much Spanish I learned, how much Spanish I understand, and much more. I got a surprise at the end of the video, so keep watching. And yeah, this last 30 days has been crazy. Let's see how much Spanish I have learned, and yeah, let's get into it. Chile relleno.
Chile relleno, okay. Chile relleno.
Yeah, we already did some stuff with the ground.
Tu turno. ¿Es mi turno?
No, ¿Cómo te llamas?
Estela,
¿De dónde eres?
de México.
¿Cuántos años tienes?
Oh, 60, no, 60.
Oh, ¿cuál es tu profesión?
Profesión. La pasada. La actual o la pasada.
Yes.
Oh,
My past profession or my actual profession?
Ok. Soy maestra en mi país. Soy enfermera en este país. Interesante.
yeah, sí.
You know, Sandy.
¿Qué?
Alguien, alguien sirvió una bebida con alcohol en un vasito.
Ajá.
Soy yo.
Hola, señorita.
Hi.
¿Cómo estuvo tu día?
Bien, ¿y el tuyo?
Muy bien, muy bien. Gracias por la cena.
Ni nada.
Esto es bien. No puedo esperar dormir contigo esta noche. ¿Cómo estuvo tu ejercicio?
Estuvo bien. Fui a correr y después hice galletas.
Muy bien, muy bien. El ejercicio. Ay, ay, ay. ¿Cuántas galletas hiciste?
Hice 15 galletas.
Muy bien, muy bien.
You wanna try one?
No. Test day went well. We went to a Spanish restaurant called Mañana, ordered food, and I asked if I could charge my camera battery, both in Spanish. Then we went to the zoo and saw some cool plants like these bonsai trees, and then some animals like this gran pez, monos, carreras, giraffes, zebras, and much more. After we got back from the zoo, I talked with Sofia and her family in Espanol, so I felt like I was more connected with them after that experience. Sofia's grandma lives in Mexico, so this was the last day we'd see her for a year or so. Say bye to Abuela. This challenge has brought me closer to mi novia and her family. I'm really glad I decided to start learning Spanish. This is just the start, and I'm looking forward to continuing my education and becoming more fluent in it as a second language. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end. If you want to get access to us and ejercicio and preparación de comida live with us, then go down in the description and apply for our SoFit fitness group coaching program, where we'll help you get in better shape. Adiós, mi amigos.
No me estás nada más que solo palabras, y si no las cumples se van a